I thought a lot of their answers were a lot better.
Yeah. So what specific things are you seeing in their answers that they were like doing that they weren't doing the first time?
Well, a lot of them were just kind of just quoting directly, like, I know this because this is what the text says. So if you like look at her, it says Jupiter, known as the kings of all planets, is the largest planet and has 53 confirmed moons and 14 possible ones. Jupiter is about the size of 1,300 Earths. In the text, it says that all of the other planets could fit inside. So that's kind of like, okay. And then Saturn is the jewel of our solar system because unlike the planets, Saturn has 2 rings. A and B are made up of ice, rock, and the other like other planets, although they are made of the same material. In the text it says, but none are as amazing as Saturn's. So they're kind of comparing it and like really selling the fact that Saturn is the jewel. Also, when you think of jewels, you think of pretty shiny jewelry. So since the rings are shiny from the ice and rock, it's the most beautiful planet in our solar system. Another reason why the planet Saturn is the jewel of our solar system is that the big ring holds a lot of ice and dirt, so they glimmer and shine in the sun. Like, I thought that was really good how she compared it to pretty shiny jewelry. You're like, well, you think of jewels as the prettiest. So they compared that. I was super proud of them. A lot of them like improved from them.
So that's where so thinking back to our learning targets, like locating information from several texts on the same topic, determining which pieces of the information best support my topic, and then integrating, bringing together information from several texts to display my knowledge of the topic when writing or speaking. We talked last time about they were kind of understanding the first piece as far as the big picture, or that one was specific to point of view, and then they were at kind of different places with supporting it with evidence. And so with this, what I heard you saying was they're kind of getting the more details to sell their point. So that support of their evidence, they're really growing in that support of the evidence. And then to me, it seemed like you were also saying like this third learning target of integrating, bringing together information from several texts. So this is still about one text. Each one is about a separate text. And so that's obviously where we're going of bringing that together. But it seems like some of what they're doing with just this one text, they're growing with the one text in a way that I see it naturally leading to them being able to integrate.
Pull 2 texts together, exactly.
Because she is synthesizing, just the way that she's synthesizing her information in this one text. So she's synthesizing different pieces of information for one text, so then the next is, okay, taking 2 texts and synthesizing that information. So I feel like we're starting to get, they're starting to get that third learning target.
Exactly. So, I can kind of, I'll get Antonio. So. And then we did that thing on Friday where we looked at it like, oh, I read the text to them and we talked about why what would we give them and grade them. That's Antonio's. Let's see what Emma's is.
That's huge, beautiful things. These rings go faster than the planets of the ancient planets. One of the things is about the tropical and all the brightness is known. Saturn named for the name God of wealth. The name Father of you.
Well, that's him, and I think he got the point. Well, he was able. He had, this was where he kind of struggled with understanding the points.
Yeah.
And he can understand 2.5. He's almost there, but that's growth from the first one. Sure. That was just a lot of writing, but it still didn't come together with the correct point.
But here he's getting He's getting it.
And then even Emma's. A lot of them are doing what they were saying. They're like, I think, and I'm like, well, you want to sell it. You don't want to say I think, because then it creates a doubt for your reader. The writer doesn't know what they're talking about. That was her. She said probably.
Yeah, so I mean, we definitely see students, locating information from several texts on the same topic, determining which pieces of information best supports my topic. And so then I do see them integrating information from different pieces in one text.
Yeah.
So then the next step is, okay, how
Put
can
two
we
texts
put
together.
those two texts together? So as far as then like kind of what they need next.
I think like just now they're at the point where they need to just get multiple texts together, I think, and then see what they can do from there. So that's what I was gonna ask about. Let's see. Oops, okay. So here they were comparing and contrasting. So what we did actually for the last text, what was the soldier text, was I had them get into small groups and do what we did with the General Scott. And so yesterday they talked about them. So they're all over the room.
So that was the third text. The General Scott was the third text?
Yes.
Awesome.
No, not the General Scott was the second. The
Okay.
soldier, what was it called?
Yeah.
Burnett's point of view was the last test. So they had to work together and come up with evidence. So he did not want I can't even remember what's like highlighted. He didn't want the Cherokee to suffer anymore. So then they had to support their evidence on why they thought that was his point of view.
Yeah.
So that's what they did yesterday in a group. But
Awesome.
yeah.
So then now that they've done all three texts, and are you gonna like model or do it as a whole group with those three texts? Is that where you're gonna start bringing together the information from those three texts into one response?
Yeah, exactly. So I know like this point of compare and contrast, so like maybe discuss this today and maybe do it in a whole group and then maybe give an example or work with them together on comparing and contrasting these and then maybe go to our Saturn and Jupiter text. I haven't really decided, or even letting us start this together and then come up with it together, come up with the information, and then have them go on their own and do it, and then maybe Monday have them do this together, or have them do this by themselves.
That's awesome. Do you want me to come in today during reading time to kind of work with you on that?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Cool. And then we can, so then when I'm in there, I can do a couple different things. We can either, as you're going through it, I can do it kind of alongside you and just kind of, you and I can discuss what you're doing, and just kind of talk through, like, as you're doing it, as they're, like, so as they're doing it, we'll kind of just talk through it together. Or, so that focuses on the instructional piece. Or we can focus on the student piece, and I can focus on what students are doing. I can pick out, 3 students or so, maybe like a high, medium, a low, and I can just really monitor what they're doing and then give you feedback from kind of the student's perspective. So so we can do either one. Would you rather focus on instruction or kind of just feedback where the students are? There's not a right or wrong, it's just kind of what you want, which perspective you'd rather take.
So if they did like the small, medium, high, what would that consist of again?
So it's just me like really monitoring, and obviously you're monitoring all of your kids, but it allows me, by just focusing on just 3 kids, it allows me to really focus more only on them, and so then I can give specific feedback as far as what they're saying, what they're showing as far as their level of understanding. I was gonna say I can pull this up and.
Or instruction would be.
So instruction is just really it's kind of just the co-teaching piece of, I may jump in and share some, but it's really just you and I talking about what you're doing.
Yeah. Let's do that.
Okay, perfect.
Instruction.
So perfect. So we will, I'll just come in and then we can kind of just, which we do a lot of anyway. We've talked through kind of how you're going to do things.
Yeah.
So it's really just an extension of that, but it's going to be more in the moment of talking through what decisions you're making and just, so it's exactly what we've been doing. It's just kind of, we haven't really done it during the middle of a lesson. So it'll be perfect.
Cool.